What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great hump day. I'm humping my ass on back home. Got to get some stuff done there and then head on down to the Red Brick House. So I got about 250, that's about 275 miles of driving to do today. So I will be definitely busy. And I always like to drive. Driving is very therapeutic for me. It helps clear my brain. I actually feel relaxed as long as I'm not stopping no traffic. But it gives me a chance to really think about things and come up with different ideas and stuff. But I had heard, in fact, actually, check out this clip, because this is everything you need to know about this situation. And this is, you know, when we were at the draft last year in Kansas City, you know, I had a ball. Had a ball with Game Time Brian and David Wiley and everything else, and DMV. You know, we were there. We had that 14, 15-hour drive up the road and everything else, where we're talking about football the whole way and stuff. We had a ball. And I had such hopes, because I was like, finally, the Dallas Cowboys get it. They understand the importance of the interior defensive line. Now, I'm going to be the first one to say, I don't know the prospects. I don't. I mean, DMV, he knows them. My man, Game Time Brian, of course, Vosh Lombardi knows them better than the people on ESPN. I had hoped, because this guy was a big run stuffer, you know, and things. Didn't get sacks and stuff, but that's not the job of a nose tackle. It's to be a big body in the middle. And for whatever reason, it just seems like Mazi Smith keeps losing. And, you know, we find out that Dan Quinn wanted him to lose weight, to be a guided missile and a pass rusher more than being a run stuffer. So he went from 337 under 300 pounds. Yeah. Watch this tape.
Check out one of the crazy storage units I've ever purchased. I paid $1,880 for this storage locker. I'm guessing because most people saw this giant gun safe in the front. But what I saw was this cleat in the back, and it's a Michigan Jordan cleat. These are player exclusive cleats. They sell for between $600 and $700. And that was just the tip of the iceberg for this unit. All of the shoes in here are essentially player exclusive Michigan Wolverine Jordan shoes. Cleats, player exclusive, just regular shoes, training shoes. It's just insane. The unit also had about 3 or 4 boxes filled with Mega Block Halo Legos. This is a Louis Vuitton toiletry bag that sells for like $1,000. Here's another Lego set. This is a Michigan playbook, sealed Super Smash Bros. Game, some Game Worn Jordan 13 cleats. The player did get drafted in the first round of 2023. There will be a part 2 and 3 to this, because part 2 are the crazy shoes that I haven't even shown you yet. And part 3 will be some of the clothes, because the clothes are high end as well. The last will be us finally opening the safe, because I have to figure out how to get into that thing. Talk about just being unbelievably lucky. I'm sorry I couldn't get it all in one video. You're definitely going to want to follow, because what's in this box is more than I could have ever imagined.
So, this is Mazi Smith's storage unit. Storage unit, and you know, I don't know if this is going to be in Storage Wars or whatever, but I'm sure that if it's not, that they wish that they were, because that one right there, wow. So Mazi, this was his college days storage unit. You see all the shoes, the playbooks from Michigan that are up in there. You see the Game Boy, PlayStation tapes and all that kind of stuff. The gun safe, who knows what's in the gun safe and all that. This is all his shit. And he forgot about paying the rent on this unit. And so evidently, They foreclosed and they auctioned it off for $1,800. $1,800. Dude is like, the shoes alone are worth over $20,000. $20,000 just for the shoes. So Mazi is working on trying to get his stuff back, and I'm sure he'll get his stuff back. But he's basically gonna have to pay for it. And by my estimation, it's gonna cost a good chunk of change. I bet you it costs him about 50 G's to get his stuff back, because the guy's gonna be like, wait a minute, I own it. He owns it. He owns it. Because when you get a storage unit, you get a storage unit. On there it says if you basically do not pay after X number of days, it becomes the property of the storage company. And when it becomes their property, they can turn around and they can sell it to whoever they want to, because it's in their property. And there's nothing in there that says to this guy that says, I got to sell it back to you, or sell it back to you at a discounted rate. He's the one that's holding all the keys. So he could go through and item by item and basically say, hey, look, I got some Michigan player-only shoes here. What would you guys, somebody give it to me for? Somebody might like to say, hey, shit, I'll give you $1,500 for that. You say, well, I can get $1,500 from him. What you gonna give me? So, yeah, that's not a good thing. And that goes to responsibility. Like I said, I had incredible hopes. I was excited that the Cowboys were looking to try and stop the run. That they were actually, for once, recognizing a problem, and they were trying to do something about it by drafting a run stopper. And then by the middle of the season, we hear that our big guy, who couldn't get on the field, had dropped about 40 pounds. And I'm like, what is going on? Now, see, I have dropped 40 pounds before. I did. One time I did. I dropped 40 pounds. 40 pounds because I had a flesh-eating bacteria that almost killed me, and I was in the hospital for 2 weeks. Losing 40 pounds is a lot of weight. It's a hell of a lot of weight. And your body responds completely different with that kind of weight loss or gain. As we found out with Rico, who tight end we had several years ago, who was svelte, who could run like a gazelle, and a gazelle, not Giselle, gazelle. I don't know how well Giselle runs. But the Cowboys decided, yeah, it's nice that you can run down the field and catch the football, but we want you to be a blocker, so we want you to put on about 40 pounds so you can block. And he put on the 40 pounds, and he looked like it was painful when he was running down the field. It just looked painful. It hurt me, and he couldn't no longer jump and grab the catches. So they kind of screwed him up by having him gain weight. I hope that they haven't screwed up Mazi by having him lose weight. But all this goes back to being responsible. He'll get his stuff back. But the fact that you end up having to go through all of this because you just didn't pay for the locker, and maybe you just forgot about it. Maybe, you finished school, you got drafted by the Cowboys, and as soon as the draft's over, you're at the Star, the next week, beginning your NFL career. Maybe you just forgot about it. And that's probably what more than likely happened, because I'm sure if he realized that, hey, I got to pay a couple $100 in that storage unit up there, or else I'm going to lose my shit and have to spend a boatload of money to get it back, he probably would have paid the rent. We need Mazi, who's only 22 years old. He's still young. We need him to get his shit together. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. For whatever reason, we seem to have a hard time with interior defensive linemen. And I don't understand this, because we had Tristan Hill, who they took a chance on in the second round, who had issues, and this is where, don't get me started on a whole nother tangent. But for whatever reason, when it comes to second round picks, our philosophy is always flawed because we're always looking for a guy that should be a first rounder but has fallen into the second round for whatever reason. Tristan Hill had a great motor, but he had an attitude problem with the coaching staff at Florida A&T, I think it was. And so that translated to problems that he had being on the Cowboys. And so you sit here and say, why are we having problems finding interior defensive line? I don't know. But I hope we figure this shit out because we need some interior defensive linemen. Because the same problem we've been having for year after year after year, stopping the run, all translates to linebackers and defensive linemen. And we need to get that shit right. All right, good people. I appreciate y'all being here because y'all have helped pass some more of the time going down the road. Only 70 more miles to go. Peace.